afternoon and welcome to Industry Focus on BDTV, where we spotlight several industries locally and globally to identify their economic and, of course, business values. And, of course, again, how it affects GDP of Nigeria, lives of Nigerians, and everyone so far. I'm Onyeka Valentine. Welcome to the show. We've got 4 segments for you all listed out, and it's going to be engaging. Our first segment, like we always do it, is the business quote of the day on finance. That will come to you. Segment number 2, we've got Captain's Opinion, where we have our esteemed guest, Prince Aliyu Audu, right? He's the Vice President of Nigerian Irish Business Association. In that segment, he'll be joining us. And then right after that, or rather during that, we'll be discussing the pulse of prosperity as our topic to find out how the finance industry fuels Nigeria's economic growth. And of course, our segment number 3, Deal or No Deal, where we throw out what is currently happening and allow our guests to tell us if this is good for Nigerians or is it no deal for Nigeria. And our segment number 4, Retrospect, where we will dive a bit into global themes and global issues and talk about what's happening GDP in the US. All this coming your way. So don't touch that dial. This afternoon, it will be a great one. Industry Focus. My name, Onyeka Valentine. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Let's jump into this. Business quote of the day on finance, which is more important because that drives, everything that has to do with the economy and drives that which is necessary for the country. So it says here, in Nigeria, financial services, telecoms, and entertainment have driven growth more than oil. I'll take it again. It says, in Nigeria, financial services, telecoms, and entertainment have driven growth more than oil. It's not my quote, rather it's the quote of Mr. Oscar Onyema. All right, you guys know him so well, the CEO of Nigerian Stock Exchange. That quote was dropped a while ago. All right, so let's take a quick break. When we come back, let's start the show for real, where we have our guest standing by. I will give a robust information about our guest so that you know why he's the right person to talk about finance and how it grows Nigeria's economy. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I hope you wrote that one down for those of you who are financial experts, and you probably will need something to power your day. That quote was there to power your day. So let's jump straight into the captain's segment of our show. We call it the guest segment, is where our industry captains weigh in their opinions. Very important. So yes, industry focus it is, the guest segment of this program that gives you that which you need. Let me give you a robust information about our guest in case you don't know. Our guest today is Mr. Prince Aliyu Audu. He is the CEO of Hatfield Energy Group and, of course, a member planning committee, Nigeria Diaspora Investment Summit, NDIS. Mr. Prince Audu is also a professional banker, right? A professional banker and economist by training. He is equally the vice president of the Nigerian Irish Business Association, a seasoned investor in energy, real estate, development, and because of his love for this nation, which is nation building, he returned from diaspora to add value to Nigeria and Nigerians. Prince Aliyu is also passionate about connecting Nigerians in diaspora with opportunities to contribute to the development of their fatherland, hence his active involvement with NDIS. Help me welcome my guest. He's right there, reaching us via Zoom. joining us on this program. Mr. Aliyu, Audu, thank you so much for gracing us with your wonderful presence. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Fantastic,
thank you very much.
fantastic.
Thank you for having me.
I hope I was able to give you robust information about you.
Sorry?
As I hope I was able to give you robust information about you.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much. You did a wonderful job.
All right, fantastic, fantastic. Thank you for joining us. Right, let's jump right into this. I know you're itching to give us all the great answers, so let's jump into it. Money, 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 they say, right? If well managed, is key to the growth of an economy. We all know this. But Nigeria is a quite, we're quite large as a number, and of course, they're quite robust in different areas. So I want to know, in the spirit of the pulse of prosperity, as a financial expert and of course an economist globally known, how do you think, right, the finance industry fuels Nigeria's economic growth such a way that we can begin to see that the engine of the finance industry pulls the heart and the core of Nigeria? In other words, industry as Nigeria's economic engine, what are its core contributions to growth?
Thank you very much. Yes, as you said, the finance sector is a very, very important sector because it's anything, our daily lives, we have to use finance. In carrying out any transaction, you need finance. Right. So finance sector is a very, very important part of our lives and the life of our country. Now, economic growth is a very important aspect too, and finance contributes greatly to economic growth because its core contributions ranges from mobilizing savings and investment. As you can see, if through our financial institutions, people are able to save their money and invest their money in various ways. If you want to say, if you save your money, if you want to invest in any business at all, the banking sector most especially offers you various products like the savings account. Right. So that is one of the core sectors that core functions of the financial sector in economic development. Another one is from capital formation. Now, it facilitates capital formation in the sense that if people use the bank as a means, as a store of value, right, store of money, they store their savings, they store their money in the banks. And with this savings, banks put it together as what they call deposits and give it out as loans to businesses. Okay. So that is another core function of the financial institution. Okay. Another one is promoting financial inclusion. Mm-hmm. As you can see, majority of money is outside the banking system. Now, the banks, the financial institutions, help to reach out to places that do not have these financial institutions. For example, mobile banking. Mobile banking has come to be very effective and has helped people to move money easily, especially farmers in rural areas. So people that do not have access to the banking system, through the financial sectors, savings account, mobile banking, so on and so forth, they are able to be included in the financial equation. Right. And as such, they are able to also access finance in terms of loans to do their businesses.
Speaking of loans,
supporting another core function.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Okay. So speaking of loans, I don't mean to cut your trail of thoughts. You're doing wonderfully well. But speaking of loans, it kind of jumps me into our next question. Just to tie it in, right? In your view, what are the primary ways Nigerians, or rather Nigeria as a whole, right, encompassing the banking sector, capital market, and areas like that, insurance and other financial sectors and services directly contribute to our nation's economic growth and overall GDP from this angle of loans you spoke about?
Okay, that's true. Now, financial intimidation and efficiency. As you can see, we have different sectors in the economy. Capital market, the manufacturing sector. Let's focus on the manufacturing sector, for example. Now, we all, and the agricultural sector, we all know that these sectors require a great deal of finance in order to produce. If you want to start up a manufacturing factory, let's say pure water or what have you, you will need a financial an amount for you to start the business.
Right.
And in most cases, most businesses do not have the startup capital. And that's why when they approach banks, some might have and might not have enough. So banks, financial institutions act as the bridging capital, as the bridging, to provide the bridging capital for this, for businesses, manufacturing, the steel sector, the rail sector. So it plays a very, very critical role in supporting different facets of the economy in providing loan. Now, where is this loan coming from? These are savings that have been acquired, that have been accumulated over time from you and I, from majority of Nigerians. This is a store of value, and this is translated into loans for businesses in different sectors. And this stimulates the economy because through this, businesses are able to trade. You trade, you produce, you manufacture, whatever you're manufacturing, be it clothing, be it shoes, be it water, be it even food production. Financial institutions are very important because they support SMEs. SMEs constitute about 98% of the economy, 90 to 98% of the economy. And without, majority of people, as we know, even in developed countries, don't have the finance. And as such, financial institutions are there to assist people, to assist SMEs in order to start production. So it plays a very, very, very important role in the economy, in supporting economic growth as well.
Fantastic, fantastic. Again, our questions just go back to back. It enables us to, stay in the right corner with it. So this one, I know you're conversant with this. Speaking about mobilization, right? How does it mobilize capital, right? Facilitate trade and enable investment across other crucial sectors? Having in mind that, of course, we are also looking at maintaining some equilibrium as we move ahead.
Financial sectors play a very, very important role in facilitating trade, promoting trade, facilitating trade, and supporting trade in that regard. So if, for example, now, a businessman wants to go to a foreign country to buy goods and services, you don't necessarily have to have cash. You can go into that country, and financial institutions have what they call letters of credit. So if you open a letter of credit in Nigeria, for example, you can go to another country, say Turkey, for example, if you're a ship, or China, if you're buying maybe building materials. And that is acceptable to the banks or to the suppliers in China. So without necessarily having cash, the financial institution, through electronic transfer and letters of credit and APGs and what have you, can support trade, can make trade possible. So businessmen can open an account in Nigeria and go to China just by filling documents and be able to secure goods worth millions and billions of naira just by paper document. This also helps in risk mitigation in terms of it reduces the risk of loss of money or capital and creates a safe way to transact businesses. Also in formulation, as I said previously, the banks act as a conduit for saving and storing money, meaning the money that they gather from majority of the people is used to also promote trade by providing credit to these businessmen to be able to buy their goods and services, sell, and then pay at an interest. So these are various ways that finance promotes trade.
Okay, speaking about promoting trade, I mean, we hear you very, very loud, very clearly, and you're making great point. But now, again, most of our viewers want to know, when it comes to effectively, rather being quite effective with finance and some other kind of businesses, all within different sectors and industries, like, manufacturing, you have agriculture, you have oil and gas, and then you have, these are on the upstream and the downstream people, those who run SMEs, like I did mention agriculture in different areas. How do you see, in other words, what do you think they should look into if you want to start a small business? And you're looking at agriculture, you're looking at, like your POS, like you said, what are the things they should look at or worry about? Or better still, what are the questions you should ask those financial experts?
Oh, okay. Well, I think in a nutshell, you're asking what sort of support for businesses in terms of POS and what have you. Is that what you're asking?
Most definitely. I mean, in the agricultural sector, those who are starting small scale business, in the, you can name it all, in the normal buying and selling. We have some people who are into real estate, but they are starting small and they're wondering, right? Will banks support them? What are the hurdles? What are the challenges they might face? And stuff like that.
Okay, absolutely. Now, one of the critical issues that businesses have faced in terms of getting support from financial institutions and banks is interest rate, accessibility to credit. Now, a lot of businesses complain how difficult it is for them to access credit. That is a major issue that that businesses are facing, and they are trying to get banks to provide credit for them. The interest rate is very high, and then the requirements in order to be able to access facilities is also very difficult. And that is not helping SMEs. Normally, in developed countries, there's what they call the credit system. You don't have to have a collateral to get a loan for an SME. That is not important. As long as you have a good credit history, they can give you even millions of dollars or naira, as long as you qualify and you have a good credit history. That is lacking in our current financial system, or it's not very developed. Financial institutions are avoiding lending to SMEs, which is not good. They focus on making money from the big multilateral companies like Dangote, MTN, so on and so forth. So that is a requirement that the CBN that's an aspect that is lacking in the financial system. And the CBN needs to do more in getting banks to lend to the real sector. Lending to the real sector without necessarily having collateral. I mean, majority of Nigerians or businesses are small-scale businesses. Where are they going? And startups. Where are they going to get collaterals from? Especially look at the POS business man, so on and so forth. And now that takes me to another point. The regulators. What is the CBN doing? The CBN in the past has come up with schemes that support different sectors of the economy, like agriculture, the agricultural credit scheme. That is good in its own sense, but we need to see more of that. We need to see more of that in the real sector, supporting the ordinary man. We don't want to hear that there are facilities or there are schemes set up for a particular sector and people are not able to access it. That is a major problem we are facing in spreading liquidity in the Nigerian financial system. So the money needs to trickle down to the common man, to the common businesses. That is the only way you are going to eliminate poverty. That is the only way you are going to create employment. And that is the only way you're going to make people economically active. So that is an area I fault the banks. They don't give enough credit to the to SMEs. Now, Solodo, the former CBN governor, addressed that by creating the microfinance banks. Now, microfinance banks are not also lending to micro businesses. Rather, they are focusing on lending to people with collateral or businesses with collateral or companies. That shouldn't be so. As the word says, microfinance is for micro businesses, and it should be an uncollateralized lending. That is what we want to see. We want to see more of that in the economy, and that is going to stimulate the economy, and that's what we need in Nigeria right now, because a lot of Nigerians are complaining. Thank you very much.
Yeah, great stuff, great stuff. I mean, we can go on and on. This is getting more interesting. I'm almost tempted not to interrupt you because you just have it well packed. Most definitely we'll do a part 2 on this. But before we go away, we still have one more question or two. We still have our deal or no deal coming up. But before we ask about the deal or no deal, let's know. So finally, or rather, before we go finally, we want to find out, as an economist, right, financial expert, and a well-seasoned banker, what are the steps your company has taken to help better the lives of Nigerians as a financial expert?
Oh, thank you. This is one of the steps I take. I go around educating Nigerians about finance, about the economy. And I also, not only do I educate Nigerians through my various channels, YouTube, medias, I also speak on behalf of Nigerians to the government and to big financial institutions on the need for them to ease their regulatory requirements and make finance more accessible to the ordinary Nigerian. For example, now, mortgages. We have a deficiency of over 20 million housing in Nigeria, and we need to start the selling mortgages. Banks need to start giving out mortgages to majority of Nigerians. Another thing I've done, we have started the Hartfield Microfinance Bank, as well as the Hartfield Financial Institution. What we are trying to do is to reach out to the ordinary Nigerians. We want to do banking in the unusual way. We want to be able to reach out to people in the rural areas. We want to give out loans to SMEs, uncollateralized loans, using technology. Now, with your phone, you can just pick up your phone and apply for a loan. You don't need to go out of your house or your comfort zone. You can even request an appointment. We come directly to you. We see what you're doing, and we'll support you. So these are the little ways that we are trying to support the financial sector in Nigeria and rewrite the script, as you may say. Our dream is for every Nigerian, or most Nigerians, that are economically viable to have access to finance. When you have access to finance, that is the only way the economy is going to grow. That is the only way you're going to eliminate poverty. That is the only way you're going to create employment. So these are the steps we're taking. A group of us, ex-bankers, have come together to try and to promote financial inclusion, to try and make finance reach to majority of Nigerians.
All right, Mr. Aliyu.
Thank you very much.
Yes, I must say, like I did say, we cannot exhaust everything today. But before we go, right, first of all, I want to thank you for the job that you're doing, and like we always say, more grease to your elbows. But before we go,
thank you.
The recent news about Tinubu's $21 billion loan approval, do you see it as a deal or no deal for Nigeria and Nigerians? Straight to the point. We have only 2 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's what they call the debt trap. We have been borrowing.
Right.
I think it's time to reduce the borrowing, because what we're setting for ourselves is the debt trap. After borrowing, we have to pay back this money. Now, how are we going to pay back this money? Through our future income. So borrowing, I don't think is the best news for Nigeria right now. We need to reduce borrowing. We need to look for other ways to generate income, like our tax systems that are not very developed, and going into reducing leakages in different aspects of the economy, and also providing infrastructure. We don't have a train system. Now, how much are we borrowing? We're borrowing $21 billion. That is enough to provide railway for the whole of Nigeria. So if this borrowing is targeted at a specific infrastructure, like railway around the whole of Nigeria that can repay itself comfortably, then I don't see anything wrong with borrowing. But if there is no path to income generation for the loan to pay itself 2 times and over, then I fault the borrowing. Thank you very much.
So it is a no deal if they don't have direction for the borrowing?
Absolutely. No deal, there's no direction for the borrowing.
All right.
Borrowing should be supported with income stream that would, over time, pay off the borrowing, not only pay it, but begin to generate income. That's where we need to focus on now, because we have a lot of infrastructural deficit, road, railway, and if we are able to put this infrastructure in place, we're not only going to generate more income, we are going to improve the economy. The GDP is going to grow because the economy will be more efficient. The movement from Kano to Lagos by businessmen will be much, much quicker, and that brings about development. So movement of goods and services as well. If the farmer in Kano wants to send goods to agricultural products to Lagos, it takes a day. Wastage is reduced. It brings down inflation as well, because the rail system is the cheapest means of transportation. And efficiency means that waste is eliminated. This in the long run reduces cost and makes the economy more efficient. So if borrowing is targeted at providing the most important infrastructure we need in Nigeria, that will definitely repay itself, then I support that. Without that path to income generation, then I'm sorry, I don't support any borrowing. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Aliyu. Audu, we've been speaking with a prolific speaker, of course, an economist, and we know, I'll put it this way, with no hold back, someone who is a professional when it comes to financial analysis, and of course, as a financial expert. Thank you so much, Mr. Aliyu. We appreciate you. We hope when we call upon you again, you will give us a part 2 of this. You've been quite robust with your information, and without a doubt, you gave us great insight and you made justice to this topic. Thank you so much, sir. Are you still there? Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Right.
All right, you guys have heard him. For those of you who are planning on having your businesses, in different ways started up, don't be afraid. Go out there, ask for help. Look for people who are professionals to advise you. But very more importantly, let's remember that the Nigerian economy runs on finance, most definitely. And the core of the show, which is industry focus, as finance is our topic, and how it generates and moves the gears and corners of Nigeria. Hopefully you've seen everything and you've heard all that needs to be heard. Until next week, hey, stay strong. And remember this, every industry matters. My name is Onyeka Valentine, right here on BDTV. Bye-bye for now.